everyone, it's Carol at Oak House Journals. As always, a very big warm welcome from me. Lovely to have you with me. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to do the penultimate assignment in Margarete Miller's Collage Weekly Planner Challenge for 2023. Can't believe we've got here, well, almost got here and completed the challenge, but we have. So without further ado, let's go through the prompts for assignment 51. A portion of a brochure or a catalogue is the first prompt. Well, you've probably seen this pulled out many a time when I've done my gluing. It's what is left of my glue book. Now this is a clothing brochure that comes through my letterbox at least every month. So I utilize it as my glue book after I've perused it and hopefully not been too tempted. Now there are some lovely backgrounds to these images and that's what I'm going to use. I particularly like this one, which as you can see is a sandy beigey colour, but it's very speckled and mottled, and there is a bigger portion of that here, or a more detailed portion. I think I'm going to be using that page, but I might audition this blue here. Now I love this and I particularly like this image or this portion down here. So I've got three options there to use for that particular prompt, so I'm going to pop that to one side. Something with holes is prompt number 2. Now we're in the festive season, and when I read that prompt, the first thing that came to mind were festive wreaths or Christmas wreaths we put on our front doors and windows, etc. So I used one of the Christmas cards that I've received. I'm making good use of my my Christmas cards this year, and I fussy cut out this gorgeous wreath. I love it because it's so colourful, but also it's embossed and there are touches of gold on there. The prompt is holes in the plural. A wreath only has one hole, so I thought that I would add some other touches to hit that prompt and have multiple holes. The third prompt, a famous person. Again, going with the festive theme, I've gone for the Nutcracker soldier. Now, he's very famous. He pops up every year at this time of the year, and as you can see, I fussy cut a couple of images, slightly different in proportion and sizes because I'm not sure which one is going to be suitable for my piece today. And as you can see, I'm being a little bit gingy with them because I've given both of them a coating of glossy accents and they're drying at the moment, so they'll need to dry a little bit more before I can use them. Something sweet on the wreath, that pear and that slice of orange and the full orange there gave me the idea for what I wanted to do to hit that prompt. And I thought of these stickers that I've got here. Now these are print on stickers, they're Craft Moo series, and as always I'll put any product details in the description box under the video. As you can see, I've got some damsons, I've got some plums, apples and a pear, so I thought I could use one or maybe two of these on my piece. Now these are the easy option and these are what I would prefer to go with today. If I find that they're not suitable, I might change them out and bring an image in or something like that. The next prompt is coffee or tea. I've got this image here of some coffee being poured into a cup, and at the bottom it says traditional Greek coffee is boiled, not brewed, Rhodes, Greece. So I thought I would use that image. And then finally the bonus prompt is something from a calendar, and I've got this lovely vintage French calendar page here. On the other side were all the dates for the month, and on this side you could write on it. So as you can see, it's got all the days written out in full there. Okay, so those are all the pieces that I'm going to use, and let's get cracking. As you saw, I was having a play with these background pieces, and the one that works best, I think, is this mottled beigey sandy coloured one. It works best with this and with the vintage patina of this paper here. I'm going to trim it all down, but this is more or less the configuration I'd like to have. I'm going to trim off this bit along the bottom here of the coffee picture where the writing is, and I'm also going to trim more of the right hand side away so that the whole thing can move over. This portion here is just folded at the moment, and I've got the lady's eyebrows peeping above there. Now I don't want her eyebrows there, but I do want a little bit of black because I think the darkness up there picks up the darkness down here and almost works to balance it out. Plus also what I'd like to do is once I've moved everything across to the right hand side, I'm going to need to take away some of this background paper here, or the back layer, so that I've got a staggered area at the top there which mimics down here, and I'm also going to need to trim away some of that. I've used the wreath to almost frame the days of the week which are down the right hand margin of this calendar page here, and I've got my soldier over to the right hand side, and I'm going to have him so that his feet are along the bottom of this page so that he is grounded. And on here, as you can see, there's a piece of Turkish Delight, and this is the line where obviously the coffee is being poured in. And what I thought I would do is have his right hand foot on top of that piece of Turkish Delight and his staff coming down to the cup as if he was stirring it, and that'll hide that line there. So I'm going to do a little bit more fiddling with this and then come back to you. I've trimmed off the writing on the bottom of this coffee image, and I like how the Nutcracker soldier was positioned on the wreath with a touch of blue on either side of his hat and this blue butterfly down here. So I've gone ahead and I've glued him in place. I'm going to have a slight smidgen off the bottom and the top here trimmed away. I'm going to trim this background piece away a little bit more. I have to trim it off at this bottom edge so that it drops down a little bit. So I'm just getting the black peeping through up there and not her eyebrows. Just trimmed away 0.5 centimetre at first to see what that looks like. I'm going to need to trim away a bit more down this side. All these pieces are glued in place now, and I've left an edge here. And what I'm going to do with this piece that I've trimmed off from the calendar page is just to glue it back on, just to give it a little bit of reinforcement, and so that it gives a bit of detail at the top and bottom rather than those lines just going straight off the edge. So I'm going to do that next. And I'm just going to trim that so that it's a little bit neater. There we go, so that's going to sit there like that. I decided to go in and add a few gold splatters with my gold Posca pen. Got a bit carried away down in this bottom corner, but I'm not too bothered about that. I'm just going to go with it, or embrace it, as we always say. This is looking a little bit stark on my page, even though I have got an idea in mind to add some more holes. So before I go in and do that, let me show you what I thought I might add. Now, this is a little bit over the top, even for me, but I just think it might add to the festive feel of this one. And pick up the gold splatters that I've done and have it as my background with a little bit down the side. Let me move that over like that, and just leave it free so that it's only glued down underneath my little collage here. Now, the only thing that is bothering me about this is I've got to go in now and add my stickers. And I've been looking at these, and I think that the best one for me to use is that one. I would love to be able to use that one, but it's too big, especially as I'm thinking about having it down at the bottom here. So what I thought I might add is this one here, and I was going to have it directly across this corner down here, but because of that big splatter, I think I might have to move it over there. And actually, the more I'm looking at this, the more I really do want to play with this one, but I can't really get a decent angle in to get it onto my piece without it looking a bit odd or out of keeping. Let me look at this little one again here. Just going to peel that back and position that back because it's moved. I'm trying to work it in so that that splodge is covered or partially covered, and actually that might work without it looking too big. I'm thinking that one might work. Decision made, I'm going to go with this one. So the first thing I want to do is add my extra holes on here, and what I thought I would do is go with some gold eyelets, and I've added a little piece of my backing, lightweight backing cardstock there, just to reinforce that edge. Even though I put that extra portion in there, I think that that might be a bit too flimsy. Now I'm just going to glue this to my background and then this, and to hold this in place I'm just going to put a little bit of Pritt stick in the middle. Have it like that. I'll then position this piece on here where I want it to go. This is all glued down now, so I've got my fingers crossed for the next bit, which is to add my sticker. And I'm hoping that it is going to stick or adhere to this fabric that I've got in the background there. So have your fingers crossed for me, please. I'm going to turn it around that way so that the actual stem goes over that blotch that I made. It looks a little bit sparse down there, so I'm thinking about adding that one in as well. So let's do that. A little bit, yeah, I think that's worked okay. Feels like I need something up here, so I'm wondering about adding some more fruit up there. Those stickers have worked really well adhering to this gold mesh fabric that I've used for my background. So there we go, everybody. It's a bit over the top this week, but I hope you like it. Anyway, let's quickly go through the prompts. A portion of a brochure or a catalogue. Well, I've got this piece just tucked in the background there. Something with holes. Well, I went with my festive wreath and also these two eyelets here. A famous person, my Nutcracker soldier. Something sweet. Well, I went with my apples down there and my plums up there. Tea or coffee. I went with my coffee and Turkish delight down in the corner here, and actually that Turkish delight would hit the prompt for something sweet as well, wouldn't it? And finally the bonus, something from a calendar. Well, I went with this page here from a French calendar. So thank you so much everybody for watching. As always, I'll put some photographs at the end for you to have a closer look, and until next week, which is the final one in this 2023 challenge, have a great week, enjoy your holidays, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.